Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon by reviewing one of their live action films again. Because why not? Well, this time around, I'm reviewing something that actually came out in theaters. And you can actually watch this in Disney Plus if you want to. Thought I wouldn't recommend it really. But it's Dumbo, the live-action remake of the animated film by the same name. Yeah. And in case if anyone has been living under a rock, I don't like remakes. Ever. As far as I'm concerned, every single remake is terrible. And you can't convince me otherwise. Just no. No, I don't like remake. No, never. Never. This film was directed by Tim Burton, who also directed movies like the original Batman, which I thought was pretty bad, and the sequel, Batman Returns, which I thought was kind of worse in a lot of ways. Oh yeah, he also did the remake of Alice in Wonderland, which was also bad, and did the Alice in Wonderland sequel, which I thought sucked. Of course, I did watch the one film he also made, Mars Attacks, which was also bad, and he also sold me a bag of crack, which was terrible. So give me crap, man. God. So yeah, on this channel, he doesn't exactly have a good record here because he give you some of his bad movies. Oh boy. Anyway, as usual, I do have to talk about the plot. So let's just get into it, shall we? I suppose. So here we go. So as you can guess, there's gonna be this struggling circus owner. This guy. Yeah, he does bring in this former star and his two children to take care of Dumbo. And of course, we all know that Dumbo is this baby elephant that was born with this oversized ears. And yeah, so at first it didn't seem like a good idea that he would be making a lot of money. So he thought he was pretty much screwed in a lot of ways because this elephant here looks different. So they have to find a lot of ways to make money because there's a good chance that the character may lose his business. So yeah, trying to have something going on at risk. But of course, surprisingly, I guess in this case not surprisingly because we don't know what's gonna happen. He actually can fly, which could be used to attract a lot of people, of course, and he eventually starts to make a lot of money. So from this point, this little mistake, or what he thought to be a mistake, actually turned out to be a good thing. Elephant does need some courage because he's not very confident, at least not right away, to do certain tricks or whatever. So obviously, he does need some help in that department, of course. So, but eventually, we all know that, of course, he gets some extra help and eventually does certain things that makes the circus a lot of money and with the more money, and pretty much becomes a lot of success. This extreme successful thing comes in, I guess you could say. So yeah, there's that. And of course, the family's happy as well. Just the circus owner is pleased with what's going on, clearly. So yeah, there's that. Of course, much what's going on here is your standard affair. Of course, it doesn't do anything new. It doesn't do anything original. It's just same old schlock all over again. But it doesn't feel the same. That's the thing. The story itself is really by the numbers, really. It doesn't try to do anything new. Yes, I realize this is a remake, of course, but what's the point? I don't get it. What was the entire point of remaking this film at all? I mean, from a narrative perspective, I don't get it because it was not needed at all. But of course, the original film was definitely accused of something. Hey, Grant, I was never the biggest fan of the original film, really. I did like it, but still. Maybe for crying out loud, this film was accused of being racist because of these bird characters. I mean, are you kidding, people? Are you kidding? The birds. Birds. Again, the birds. Well, come on. Is everything racist nowadays? Ugh. And of course, according to this moron, if you support the LGBT community, it also means you're racist. And yes, of course, the game Dragon Age Inquisition was accused of whitewashing, even though that was never the case, but okay. And then a song by, What's Her Face, Hello Kitty, was of course accused of being racist. And if you date a white person, somehow it also means you're racist. You hate your own culture, you're a traitor, you betrayed those people or whatever you're from, I guess. Come on, people, is everything offensive to you? I mean, why does everything have to be attached to racism? I don't get it. Yes, it's bad, I realize that, but come on. There's other things going on in the world, you know that, right? No, maybe I'm not seeing what they're seeing. Because concerning the fact when it comes to being non-racist, I'll be so non-racist, I'm acting pure in it. I don't see anything like that at all. It's up to the point to actually annoy people because I don't have a racist bone in my body. If someone's gonna piss me off, it'd be for different reasons. Yeah, it won't have nothing to do with their ethnic background. There's a few people that we all live in one planet. Of course, planet Earth, it's big enough that we all should share it. So, I don't know. Maybe just me. I'm just a complain about everything. When I say sharing, I don't mean it in the context of socialism. Because socialism is just basically another version of communism. And I don't like communism at all. So don't be taking what I said and twisting it, folks. Just so you know. But anyway, this is just a bad movie. It's just a horrible movie. I mean, okay, I've seen Disney do worse. I've seen far worse than this, of course. But it's a slog. Just a film that was not needed, considering the fact that the original film was fine the way it was. And again, not that I was the biggest fan of the original film, like I said a moment ago, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. No. It was really short, yes. And that brings me to another problem with this movie. Since the original film was extremely short, they had to stretch that idea for roughly 2 hours. And yes, you can feel it. So there was a lot of moments that was incredibly boring. I mean, there were a lot of scenes from the original film, yes, but it just felt like it was just trying to pad it out. They're trying to add the family that discovered him, I guess, or at least the family that took care of him. I mean, the family that took care of him was added, and they're trying to have their own backstory and somehow just tied together with the whole flying elephant thing. So yeah, they were trying to add stuff there, and of course the circus owner, he makes a deal with some character after the success, and gets even a bigger, bigger circus thing. I guess as plot progression. I guess. So even when it got to the plot points eventually, even then it felt like it was dragged out. So yeah, trying to stretch a really simple premise and stretch it for like about 2 hours. This is the same problem I have with a lot of the other remakes I've seen. The problem I have with all these remakes, the original films had a fairly simplistic premise, and then when they adapted into live action, they kind of stretch it for about 2 hours. Every single live action remake that they've done so far has been about a little over 2 hours. I can take something that's fairly simple and then trying to stretch for that amount of time. It feels padded. All these films feel really, really padded, and this film is no exception to that. So, really, really trying to milk that money, I guess, so to speak, I guess. But yeah, folks, this film did get some good reviews. I mean, I guess it must have been high on something, I guess. But yeah, this film did get some success, I suppose. And before anybody says anything, I know Disney gave the okay for them, the EA, to do something, a certain thing to the first and second Battlefront. Yeah, I realize that. I know what I'm doing here, folks. Don't be thinking I'm not self-aware. Just pointing that out. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, this comes off like they're only thinking just for the money. Yes, I realize that companies need money to stay afloat. It's basically their blood. That's fine. I'm not against with wanting to make money. But if making money is the only reason you want to make a movie, and then it's going to show. There's no passion. There's no creativity. It's nothing. There's nothing here that we can enjoy. I mean, I know they were trying to use the music as a way for make us feel enlightened in some ways, I guess, but Honestly, I don't remember much of the music, if any at all, because it was so generic and forgettable. So yeah, folks, this movie was terrible in a lot of ways, of course. Considering the fact that it was just done just to update a movie, because a lot of people found certain things, certain aspects of the original, offensive. So this was their way of trying to, correct it, I guess. But that's nonsensical to begin with, because you can't just do this and just forget about certain things. This is not how you approach certain problems in society. I mean, I realize that there's still, unfortunately, still bigotry around, unfortunately. And people keep buying the original film, so yeah. It doesn't make any sense, folks. But also, people want Disney Plus to have a trigger warning, because apparently some of the other older films are racist or culturally insensitive or whatever, which is stupid if you ask me. And also, race swapping, it can be just as bad, It's just as insulting. You can just... How about swapping Blade race and make him be some Mexican dude and he knows Kung Fu? Or you could even go to the extent like, okay, let's take the character of Blood Rain and make her be, let's say, a Middle Eastern vampire or something. See? I mean, diversity is in itself not a bad thing, really, folks. But if you're just going to go the lazy route and just race swap an already existing character, it's just taking the easy way out. It's a cop out. You can do like the same set of twins, and maybe each twin can be from a different race. That's possible, because that has happened in real life, and it wouldn't make sense. Just look into it. Say the mother is one race, while the father is from a different race, and have another guy or whatever from a different race, and then the twin characters could be, one could be white and the other could be black or something. I don't know. And they had to team up against some schmuck that wants to kill some and destroy some villagers or whatever. You make something out of that. I don't know. But the same can be said that, when it comes to gender swapping, that's also really pointless when you think about it. Along with, swapping the bodies and whatnot. This is also just nonsensical. We already have a Hispanic princess. Why isn't anybody talking about that? Okay, it's not making any news waves or anything. Nobody's really talking about that character, really. I mean, I have occasionally from time to time. I mean, it's been a good while, but still, I don't get it. So my point being is that the motivation to make this film is pointless. It's not a good way to make a good story. I know, yes, of course, technology has changed, society has changed. The fact that we have different values on what's considered to be bigoted or not has changed. Is women can vote now and whatnot. Sure, things nowadays have changed compared to the way it was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, so on and so forth. Hell, even things change even compared to the 90s. That's expected. To have some sort of progressive isn't inherently bad, but don't try to use the sort of things against certain people. So yeah, folks, this just comes off like this movie has no reason to exist other than people find the old movie offensive for one reason or another. That's it. And this was Tim Burton's way to basically correct the bad thing. Okay, this is not how you do it. It's just a shallow movie. If anything, it's just incredibly boring, I guess. If anything, it's just incredibly boring. They just stretched it for roughly 2 hours with nothing to say, like, at all. It doesn't... I mean, when you're making a story, make sure it exists for a reason. But this movie doesn't. There's no reason for this to exist, like, at all. Yeah, you can tell I was really disappointed. I mean, usually, yeah, I don't like remakes anyway, if I'm gonna be honest here. Oh, come on, Mr. Monkey. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not gonna buy this crap, okay? This movie's terrible. Very uninspiring and whatnot. Just no. No, Mr. Monkey. You better stop pestering me with this, man, okay? So let me alone for once. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I wouldn't say it's nearly as terrible as the Beauty and Beast remake. Which, I will say, it's definitely a lot worse than this movie. But yeah, it still suffers the same type of problems. The characters feel hollow. The story feels hollow. And there's a lot of filler, as I was saying earlier, folks. Very uninspiring music. I mean, yes, they were trying to have it some sort of message within the film, which is fine, I guess. I'm not against having the idea of having a message, a positive one or whatever. That's okay. I'm fine with that. But in terms of execution, it felt flat the way they were trying to make it. So yeah, I guess they tried and failed. I guess if anything, but even then, I still felt like they shouldn't have remade it like at all. Like I was saying earlier, the original film was fine the way it was. You didn't need to tweak it up at all. Sometimes shorter is better when you think about it. But yeah, I know they were throughout the entire movie. They were trying to give some sort of sense of how do I put this? Sense of character. Having these kinds of moments that, oh look, Dumbo did this. Oh look, Dumbo did that with this character and that character. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that precious? Yeah, they were trying to have some moments like that. That's an attempt to make you care, I guess you can say. But even then, it didn't work for me at all. Because I just wanted the movie to win. Really, you can't blame me for trying, folks, okay? I give this movie a shot. The approach, the motivation to put this sort of things together and whatnot. I can see what they were doing. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I was blinded by something or whatever. I can see what they were trying to do. So, but even then, it failed. This felt flat because of the script. This was not a good script. I don't get why Disney thought this would be a good idea. I mean, okay, I got some idea, I guess. But point being is that how can they look at the script and thought it would be a good idea? Why would you greenlit this? It was very poorly written. The dialogue is not very good, really. The acting, I guess, the acting in this movie is passable. I guess the acting isn't bad. I've seen worse. I mean, okay, I've seen better too, but still, overall, this was a very lackluster film as a whole. I've seen it once, folks, and yes, I do own a Blu-ray copy of this film. So, I'm just adding for my Disney collection, if anything, I guess. So, don't be thinking that I didn't give this film a chance, alright? I did. And it still failed miserably in a lot of ways. I'll give this film an overall rating of a 4.8 out of 10. It gets a 4.8 out of 10 from me. And as always, thanks for watching, and take care. Till next time, see ya. Oh yeah.